Ahead of the forthcoming National Population and Housing Census, the Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, in collaboration with the National Population Commission and the United Nations Population Fund, organized a one-day high-level engagement for stakeholders this Monday in Abuja. As Clever News Gloria Atan reports, the meeting is aimed at getting the needed support for the conduct of accurate and acceptable census in Nigeria.
It's been 17 years since Nigeria carried out a national population census. Ideally, a census should be conducted every 10 years. The period allows the government to capture the changes in structure and movement of the population correctly. The country is 7 years behind its census. A population and housing census ought to have been conducted in 2016, 1 year after President Muhammadu Buhari assumed office. However, the new government was unable to conduct the census due to the economic recession in 2017. The situation was further worsened by the coronavirus pandemic in 2020. Following a series of postponements, the federal government finally announced plans to hold the census in 2023, and the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration approved the sum of 176 billion naira for the exercise in the 2022 budget. Ahead of the census now slated to hold in May 2023, stakeholders in the organized private sector, financial institutions, ministries, departments and agencies of government converged on Abuja to deliberate and map out strategies to ensure the conduct of accurate and acceptable census in Nigeria. Speaking at the event, the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, and the Minister of State in the ministry, Clem Agba, say the census, which is in line with the National Development Plan 2021 to 2025, will employ the use of digital technology to produce credible, reliable and accurate outcomes in line with global practices.
I'm pleased to intimate you that the 2023 census, population census and housing census will be a green census involving the use of digital maps, digital questionnaires and cloud computing to ensure compliance with global climate change campaign for reduction of emissions by at least 30% unconditionally and an additional 15% conditionally by the year 2030.
We will also use the opportunity of working with the Ministry of Communications and Digital Technology to do the NIN registration as we go along. Quite a number of activities have been undertaken, which include the conduct of a trial census. So government has already demonstrated a high level of financial and political commitment to the census project in spite of the election costs and activities.
Other stakeholders at the event also stressed on the need for effective collaborations to ensure the delivery of accurate data that will serve as a tool for policymakers to make informed decisions for national development.
The 2023 population and housing census being planned by the government will play a vital role in producing the official statistics and providing fundamental information for measuring progress towards the SDG indicators.
As a fundamental tenet of Nigeria's planning for development, particularly in promoting an open-ended and coordinated approach to rapid growth, this census should accomplish more than just give people access to the necessary, accurate, and acceptable data. It should also guarantee that the data is inclusive, approachable, and usable by all facets of society for development planning and cost correction.
It's a very expensive exercise everywhere, and it's very important then that everyone participates and contributes to this effort, because this is a national objective. It's not only the objective of the ministries.
Census is very important, and therefore its outcome must be credible, acceptable, and should not lead to any rancor in society. I urge the National Population Commission to leverage technology as much as possible to reduce human errors and demonstrate greater transparency and credibility.
According to the ministry, Funding, security and cultural issues pose the biggest challenges to the effective conduct of the census. So far, the federal government has committed 291.5 billion naira to the census, with a whopping sum of 327.2 billion naira remaining to carry out the exercise. Gloria Atta, reporting for Clearview News.